Explaining Christian faith using scripture alone, church, building or people. When most people hear the word church, the first thing that comes to mind is a physical building, a place with chairs, a pulpit, and a roof. But the Bible challenges this common assumption. God does not live in buildings. Acts 7:48. However, the Most High does not live in houses made by human hands. This statement was made by Stephen, one of the early church leaders, while addressing religious authorities who believed God's presence was tied to the temple building. Stephen reminds them that God cannot be confined to structures, no matter how sacred or expensive they appear. This verse directly confronts the idea that a building is what makes something a church. Buildings can host worship, but they do not contain God. People are God's temple. First Corinthians 3:16. Do you not know that you yourselves are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwells in your midst? Here, Apostle Paul shifts the focus completely. He does not say you go to the temple, he says you are the temple. This means God's dwelling place is people, not walls. The church is a living body, not a location. Wherever believers are, God is present. In the early Christian movement, believers met in homes, open spaces, and public areas. There were no church buildings for the first few centuries. Faith was centered on community, teaching, prayer, and service, not architecture. Modern church buildings serve important functions: organization, gathering, and structure. But problems arise when buildings become more important than people. Attendance replaces true discipleship. Church is treated as a place to visit, not a life to live. The building is not evil, but it is not the church. The people are the church. A church building should be a tool, not an idol, a gathering point, not God's residence, a support system for believers, not a replacement for spiritual growth. Here is my closing thought for my viewers. You don't go to church, you are the church. Wherever you live, work, or interact, that's where God's presence should be seen. Thank you and join me on the next video.